What are we going to talk about today?
Whatever you want to.
So I have roped Tylen into coming in the office and sitting down and making a podcast with me. We already tried the microphone, and let me just tell you, one of us has a voice that carries across this property like it's my job, and the other one of us had to yell to get our voice heard. It wasn't me.
It might have been me.
It is you. All right, you guys. So welcome to the Horse Trader's Diary. We have put off podcasting forever because I was just burnt out. But here we are. So the first thing, Tylen was like, we should have done a question and answer. And I'm like, I don't have time to do that. I should have put these questions up yesterday or the day before. So our podcast can be found on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, for those of you that are on Facebook Live watching. It's called The Horse Trader's Diary, and we should have about 2 episodes a week being pumped out. Cross my fingers that I actually sit down and do this, but we're going to try. So, what do you want to talk about? Look at you with your arms crossed. He's got like nervous energy. He's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know, like Ricky Bobby. You don't know what to do with your hands.
I don't.
Put him down! Look at you. He's like, oh God. He's like, I will ride the Bronchi Colts, but I'm not getting on live video for all these people.
What?
What is right? Hey, you guys. So first and foremost, does anybody have any questions before we get started? Because once we start rolling with our conversation, it's hard to get me to stop. So I do know a question that somebody had asked the other day on live video that we didn't quite catch was, so Tylen, how old are you?
I'm 25.
He's 25, and I'm an old lady. I'm 35. I don't look 35. Do I look 35?
Do I look 25? I look like I'm 40.
Oh my gosh, he does not. He does not. All right, you guys. Well, happy Easter to you guys too. So he's 25, and he is from Missouri. You're from the Show Me State.
Hill, right there in the big old boot heel.
Is that like the? So, I'll show me.
No.
I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
No.
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 No. No. Isn't that what they say? Isn't that the Show Me State? Isn't Missouri the Show Me State?
Yeah, it's the Show Me State, but
Look how nervous he is. You're putting off like super nervous vibes. I'm telling you, we're gonna get. You are nervous. We're gonna get him broke into being live. He's fine on horses far away from the camera, but to be stuck right here with y'all, he's like a deer in the headlight. Look.
my arms are fine.
You literally have lunch with me every day, and we talk about such stuff, and they would laugh, and you're in here like, are you cold?
No.
Nervous?
Yeah.
Why?
Oh no.
These people see you every day.
They may.
They do. All right, you guys. So it's been a long week. It's been a long week for me. It's Saturday. I'm ready for next week to start over.
It's been a long week.
Yeah.
Super
What have you
long.
done this week?
Road.
You rode. Don't forget, you guys, we are going to do the Ride Me Like Two Crows shirt. I've already got it on my computer ready. It's so good.
God.
It is so good. You are camera. Like she said, you just camera.
I know. I say that.
You guys. And I didn't even go live across all platforms. I just went live on one. That way there wouldn't be hundreds of people flooding this video. Just 100. It's only going to be like 100 people. I didn't go live across all platforms. That way it's a mild audience. Gotta break you in right.
I'm part of the tribe.
He is. Kind of. You're actually not. Why
Yeah,
aren't
I'm
you?
not.
Why?
I don't know.
Well, for those of you who don't know, you can join the Wild Tribe after hours, and we also have a secret chat on there called the Wild Tribe Unleashed, and it is super good.
Somebody
So-
ask, how does the horses that are consigned to JT Live?
So we have contacted basically the girl, like, so we have a Facebook creator studio, and I have a girl that manages my account, and she set my Facebook up as an auction house, and so we can actually post livestock without any issues as long as they're consigned. What I had to do is I had to turn in my Packers and Stockyards approved number, and I just had to show like my professional credentials. So basically Facebook does allow animals to be sold as long as they are like at a brick and mortar professional establishment. So once I got all my credentials, like my EIN number, my PNS number, which is Packers and Stockyards, because I am a bonded livestock dealer through Packers and Stockyards, they basically transferred my Facebook over to an auction house, and I am allowed to advertise livestock. But people still try to report that because they have nothing better to do. So we just want to make sure that nothing trips the Facebook censors. So they say consigned to JT Livestock. The biggest difference is I think the horses that are slaughter bound, and like, so here in person, Tylen and I can tell you there's a big difference between the slaughter bound horses and the traders. There's a big difference. It's a big difference just in the way that we do things. So every week horses come in, we sort through them. These horses are kind of lower end horses that probably need some maintenance or some TLC. It's not that they're not great horses. Comet was a great like representation of that. That horse was extremely well broke. He was extremely sound. He needed weight, teeth floated. He just needed money put into him and some time. So he was a lower end horse. He sold for $28.50. A veterinarian that lives in Troop purchased him. And so those kind of horses are like the slaughter bound horses. And then we have better quality traders, which are horses that are up in the barn. We have a lot more first-hand information on those horses, and I just feel so bad for you. You are just struggling to maintain. He's like, oh my God. Literally. You all right? Need to breathe?
I am breathing.
You're not breathing well. He's been on me. Listen, I will tell you guys before anybody comes and are like, Tara, I can't believe you did that to that poor boy. You roped him into that. Look how nervous he was. He has been on me. He's like, so when are we going to do a podcast? How many times have you asked me?
Well, you kept bringing it up.
Okay, but how many times have you said, like, we should do a podcast? It was a great idea. Ty got you in the hot seat, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a great idea until you got stuck in the hot seat. So, for you, like when horses come in, I know what I look for when I'm determining, like, hey, this horse is a really good trader, and this horse, like, you know, it's a good horse, but it needs to go on the 10-day. What makes you make that decision?
I don't know. I like color and conformation.
You're a color confirmation guy?
Yeah.
I'm an age and temperament person.
Well, I think any horse can be trained, so I'd rather have something
Is
flashy.
that why you won't let me get rid of Two Crows?
I love that horse. He looks good.
He is beautiful. He's just a little bad. He's growing out of it. But Two Crows hasn't had a lot of rides. He's had 30 rides.
Yeah.
So, not a lot. I do love that people do not know how to differentiate him and his poor brother. And they look nothing alike to me.
They kind of look alike, just different color.
They're both done. they're both the same. Yeah, they are.
Well, one's dark and one's light.
I think his brother's going to darken up, though.
Probably.
I think his brother would already be the same color had he not been clipped. Yeah. Come on, you gotta have, look, they're watching. We're just trying, you guys, we gotta train him. We just have to train him right. It's just,
Somebody said take a deep breath.
you need to. You look like Two Crows when we hop the back cinch off in him. You gotta breathe. Get that hump out of your back.
I don't have a hump in my
He has a hump in his back. I need to take him outside and lunge him and lead him back in here. And then try again.
Nah.
Yeah. He's
Nah.
like trying. He's like, I'm gonna do it. I'm not nervous. And I'm like, your energy is like nervous. You went from being, I was like, you need to get hyped up and excited. Like your energy is like, now his energy is like, come on, Big Daddy Craig. I love that right off the bat, somebody just calls you straight out like that.
I know.
They're like, come on, Big Daddy Craig, let's hear about it. So, what's been new?
I don't know. Nothing's been new. It's been the same old.
This is not a hamster wheel. It has not been the same old every day. So we put Moose in the barn.
We did put Moose in the barn.
Yep. And then we've sold a lot of horses. We rolled through about 20 horses in 3 days. We rolled through about 20 horses in 3 days and kind of got a lot of stuff moved. The thoroughbreds don't move, and my God, I have begged Jacob not to buy thoroughbreds because they are so much drama.
So much drama.
There's so much drama.
So
Every time we get thoroughbreds, you get thoroughbred rescues, thoroughbred advocates, thoroughbred. They seem to think that off-the-track thoroughbreds are like a superior animal to the rest of the breeds. And so they should just automatically be, and I love when people say, there are no slaughter policies across the U.S. for thoroughbreds. They're no better than the paper they're written on. That's not a thing. Like, it's a horse. It's livestock. And then they're mad at me because I say that. So, but the thoroughbreds are a lot of drama. And it seems like the people that are associated with thoroughbreds, not English facilities, so to speak, but like diehard thoroughbred like advocates, and they are the worst thing for thoroughbreds because it literally makes people not want them.
Yep.
I have people that tell me, I try to recommend thoroughbreds to lots of customers that are looking for barrel horses or that are looking for like a really good quality horse that they can take to a trainer and maybe do mounted shooting on. And every time I try to recommend a thoroughbred, they're like, I don't want a thoroughbred. I don't want that. And I'm like, why? And they're like, thoroughbred people. I think Arabians have like Arabians, and then there's thoroughbred people. Like the horses themselves aren't the issue, it's the people.
Yeah.
And I hate that. I recommend them to barrel racers. I've recommended them to teamer, and they're like, I don't want a thoroughbred. And it's the worst thing because I think there's also a lot of people that have.
Somebody said, what made me want to work here?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really know.
That's the worst thing about live video. It's the worst thing about. It's why I almost never go live when I do my podcast because it's so bad. When we go back and listen to this, you'll be mid-conversation and somebody will completely change the subject, and there will be tons of people that still want to hear what you were talking about. You never loop back around to it. So it's why I generally don't go live with you guys, because people like, so when we do our lives and we do our podcast, it's the hardest thing is to like, I normally turn the comments off too. I do.
Let's make it to where I can see it because I'm going to read it.
Yeah, you're going to read them. Can't read them.
Every time.
Can't read them. We're going to get him broken right today, but I'm going to have to this, and we'll just have to edit the audio from that because of that. So it's the hardest thing about doing a podcast while trying to be live, and I want to do them live so we can save them and put them on Spotify, because now Spotify has video podcasts, which I think are going to be a lot of fun, but we're going to have to disable the comments. Got to get Heather on that. Like, Heather, can you disable my comments for me? Sorry, you guys. So what did make you want to work here? I guess we'll start with that, and then we'll go back and edit a whole chunk of the podcast out. I have to start my podcast over.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's not okay.
He's like, don't beat me.
Don't beat me.
No, but it is a thing. So it is. Thoroughbreds, honestly, it is the hardest thing in the world to try to explain to people that the horses are great horses. And the problem with thoroughbred people is they are really dramatic. So it seems like all post on social media regarding thoroughbreds is always like some kind of drama, or my horse is a hard keeper. And the thing is dramatic people make dramatic posts no matter what it is. So they always make the horses seem like such high maintenance too, because they want attention. They're like, my thoroughbred's a hard keeper. My thoroughbred won't tie up. My thoroughbred. Oh. And I've also noticed that thoroughbred people always want to talk about how they came off the track and like, oh, they're so high strung, because I think it makes them feel like they're a better horseman because they have to put up with all this. And the truth is, thoroughbreds are so unproblematic. They're so unproblematic. It's the people that are problematic. They're awful. So what made you work here?
I don't know.
He kind of likes me.
I just decided to move one day. Just up and move.
Yeah.
What?
Your poor energy. He feels so trapped. We're going to have to actually break him into this. He is like, you can tell.
Well, I didn't know it was going to be a video.
Yes, video. We rob the audio from it and clip the audio and go. That way we don't have to do like 90 things. We can do one. And turn it into 90 things. We'll have like clips off of this, probably of you over there like this, that are like, what made Tylen so nervous? And that way we can like blast those on all of like the stories, and people will be like, Jesus Christ, what's wrong with that poor boy? Did she try to molest him? What happened? And we'll clickbait them. They'll be like, I've got to know this. Like, what happened? And
What happened?
nothing.
What happened?
Nothing. One of us is super comfortable on camera and can talk to herself, and the other one of us is like
No.
very not. He's like, where's my I need to self-abuse.
It's not self.
That is like self-mutilation. I mean, you'll get to pumping over there sometimes, and I'm like, are you okay?
No.
Are you okay?
No, it's not that bad.
Yeah, sometimes.
No.
How many times did you yourself at Navasota?
A lot.
You came home with a bruised wrist. That is like self-abuse.
No, it was not.
And then you're gonna tell people, you're gonna be like, look, she did this to me. She
Yep.
she abused me.
Kept me in shackles
She kept me in shackles. Do y'all hear this?
in the barn.
Mm.
Can't help it.
Can't help it. So we are just gonna have to go live every day. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna write the petition to do the podcast starting May 1st. And we're just gonna go live every day and we're gonna train you, and by May 1st you'll be able to pump out some content.
I don't know.
We'll put you in the boot camp.
In the boot camp?
Yeah, podcast boot camp.
Mm-mm. They don't want to
If
see
you
me.
can do it live, you can do it
They don't
want
want to see me. They're here for you.
They are not here for me.
Yep.
I mean, they like me.
Watch the comments. They're all here for you.
Oh my god. Are you being insecure?
Mm-mm.
Yuck. I think it's so funny. Y'all, do not reply to people like that. What is wrong with y'all?
What?
Oh,
Well-
so this is another thing why the comments need to be turned off.
What was said?
I don't know, don't care. I'm sure some kind of fucking troll, and now they're gonna like fight and argue on here. I'm telling you, this is like a good learning experience for you. You're gonna get broke in. You have a troll on here hating on us. Done said some shit about us. Now they're gonna argue with you, and the comments are gonna go, and they're literally, listen.
Ride me like two crows and we don't like you.
Listen, I do. I think that shirt's gonna be fired.
This is the shit.
The word. Yeah, this is the shit. See? Now they're gonna tell that person. Somebody said that we're shit, I think. And they're not. Trust me. They will fight back like it's their life. Let's see. And his brother has mane. Somebody even recognized his brother's mane is on the opposite side and it's been pulled. Look, so this lady, look, watch. And here's the thing. Before we even click on her profile, I'm gonna tell you, it's more than likely a lady. I bet you more than anything. Listen, she'll probably be like missing a tooth, overweight, have like shitty ass clothes, miserable.
Don't say that.
I'm serious. And more than likely, okay, here we go. Oh yeah, in her fucking 1999 fat baby boots with no picture of herself, because she's honestly so miserable and unhappy she can't even put herself on camera. But she's gonna get on here and tell us how terrible we are and how you should just, oh yeah, look. I mean, ma'am.
No, don't do that.
Ma'am. Yes, you do that.
No.
Yes, Tylen. You're, buddy.
We don't do that.
You don't do that. I'm mean as a fucking pit viper. What do you mean we don't do? I do it. I'm a petty, spiteful bitch. What you mean we don't do that?
I don't.
You're right. So
Somebody asked me when I was going to buy two crows. I'm not allowed to.
No, he's not living here forever.
I'll have to ship him to Missouri.
And then he can stand there and do nothing for the rest of his life? You going home?
No.
Okay. Two Crows really, honestly, is fantastic. I think that the problem is that we mostly cater to my customer base that need bomb-proof trail horses, older horses. And Two Crows is a young horse. And he's had 30 rides, maybe 45 rides. Like on the long side, maybe 45. And you can't expect a horse to be solid in that amount of time. It doesn't matter their age. You can't expect a horse to be solid. He had been riding really solid, and you reintroduced a back cinch.
Yeah. And then, in the process of teaching him to cross over, it just got a little too tight.
Now remember, he can't cross over because he's neurological in the front end. What is it? Oh, yeah. Somebody had the ability to diagnose
A horse through a video.
through a video that ended up not actually even being the correct horse. Yeah.
But
He is super shy, and his energy is like, my energy for stuff like this is like super, like, I'm so comfortable, and he's so uncomfortable, and he's like leaning away from me, trying to run from my energy, because he, like, it's just such an opposite, like, energetically. Like, if you ever watch people and their energies clash when it comes to something, like, one person will flee, and he is
I'm not
like,
fleeing.
you are, look at you, you're like,
I quit crossing my arms, so I just got comfortable.
this is Thailand. It's okay. I'm just saying, it's okay. You're just super,
My legs are stuck.
because I'm telling y'all, and it's okay. Like, I have been there. I literally started doing this when you used to have to record yourself and then upload it. They didn't have live videos. I used to record videos and upload them. I've been doing this for a decade.
And I have
I've been
not,
doing it since I was your age.
I have not.
I was his age when I started.
What's the best part about your job?
Yeah, what is the best part?
I'm asking you. I'm asking the questions.
But they know that. They know that I love to rehome the horses. What's the best part of your job?
Probably just sorting through all the horses. I just like to ride.
You just like to ride. He does like the horses.
I like horses a lot.
He does. Yeah, for sure. He still wants to run away. Now he's like, God, I gotta get away. I gotta get in.
I'm just trying to get
I
comfortable.
gotta get
We need a couch.
We do not need a couch.
Yeah. Be
Last time I
comfortable.
had a couch and here's some dirty stuff happened on it.
Oh my God. Of course.
Yeah, my staff were a little wild, so I had to get rid of the couches because there was some stuff and things happened in here that I can't unsee. I had the video camera in the corner over there, and there's some things happened in here I can't unsee. A couple times. That's true.
That's rough.
Because
That's
you
rough.
know who it was too.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. Somehow, he does do.
I do not.
You do. We've had that conversation. But it
No,
was
we had
not,
the conversation about the tractor.
well, same. I
Same?
mean, same. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, some of it just is not my poor tractor.
Yeah, that poor tractor. And
When
poor
you-
Jerry does
when-
not know.
When you get in it, are you like,
Yeah. Yeah.
that poor tractor? I don't know. Tylen and I actually really get along super good off camera. This is just super nervous. But we'll get you broke in. You got 160 people wanting to know what you need to talk about.
Yeah, that's a lot of people.
It's a room full.
A room full?
It's a room
Oh,
full.
that's like 160 people cannot fit in
It's an auditorium full.
the show. Yeah, that's more like it.
No. But, what do you want to tell him? Any more questions, you guys? We're just going to start getting him used to live video. He is just over here so nervous. I wish y'all could feel the nervous energy. Have you ever got on your horse and you can just feel their heart beating? Like, and you know that horse is scared out of its mind?
Are you trying to say that's me?
Yes, for sure.
But it's not.
It is. It is.
About. I've been riding since I was 8. Trained my first colt when I was 14. Went to a couple Clinton Anderson clinics. Rode out in Colorado for a summer.
Who'd you ride with in Colorado?
I went out there on a dude ranch, and I don't remember anybody's name because I was like 13. It was back in 2008.
So you went to a dude ranch.
And then took a couple clinics down at the NSR arena for heading.
NRS.
Yep.
Yeah.
I said NRS, didn't I?
It's okay.
What did I say?
It's kind of like when I tell Jacob I'm going to the DVM, and he's like, "You're going to the Doctor of Veterinary Medicine," and I'm like, "No, I'm going to the DMV. I'm sorry."
I
do
said
it all the time.
NRS.
Okay,
We're gonna
we'll replay this.
Yeah.
Let's make that bet. What are we betting? I win all the bets all the time. I could listen, you guys.
What did I say, guys? That's what I
He
want
said
to know.
NSR.
Whatever, same difference.
He did.
Uh,
Same difference. He knows not to bet me now. You
Yeah.
guys notice that? He knows. He's like, I lose all the fucking bets.
and I gave.
Yeah,
was-
so you went to heading clinics.
Yep. Oh my God.
And you did what? You've been giving lessons? Is that
Yep.
where you're going?
Yep. And I gave riding lessons for a while, and then I quit riding horses for a while, and then got back into it because of my kids.
Yeah. He's got 2 little girls.
Yeah.
How old are they?
4 and 5. You already know that, though.
They don't know that.
I think.
They're super cute. They're
Yep.
super cute.
They don't look like their daddy.
They look just like him. They really do.
So, how long would it be if I was 8? So,
Yeah.
that's 17 years, right?
Mhm.
From 8 to now?
Mhm.
Yep, 17 years.
Did you grow up on a farm? And
I
your
did not
parents
grow
had
up on a
horses?
farm, I just had horses.
Yeah.
But
So they ask if your parents are into horses?
no, my parents absolutely hate horses. My grandpa likes horses. He used to shoe horses, and he had horses when he was younger, and then he got out of it, and then I got into it. So we built a barn and stocked it full of whatever I wanted, pretty much.
Yeah, so his grandpa kind of,
Spoiled me
yeah.
really, really bad. After I got done with my clinics, had a brand new head horse sitting in the barn. Palomino.
Yeah. So he is starting to rope again because I was like, hey, I really need roping videos.
And I need to get really good really quick. And
He does not have to get really good really quick.
Yeah, and I'm not as good as I used to be.
They're going to think I beat you. He's like, I've got to get really good really quick because I still can't get over that my neighbor told me, he was like, and there was a black guy leaving your house? And I'm like, what the fuck? Who said that to their neighbor? It's alright, I'm getting the mat right here that says, my neighbors think I'm selling dope. Have you seen on TikTok the lady that makes the mats? It's worse than my
They're
kids.
gonna think I sell dope.
Maybe we do.
Do I want to do what forever? Horses?
Do you want to trade horses?
I don't want to trade horses.
You don't like it?
I do like it, but I don't want to do it all the time. I like training. I rather train.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm training, but I don't know. Horse trading is an art,
There is an art to it.
and I have to form that art.
Yeah?
So
But, yeah. I like to trade horses.
I like to train. She likes to trade. So
Yeah.
it's like a sandwich. It goes
Peanut
together.
butter and jelly. It's different, but it goes together.
Yep.
Yeah. We make a pretty good sandwich. Maybe we're more like something like a swirl ice cream, like the chocolate and the vanilla.
Oh my
I'm
God.
definitely the vanilla. We've had that conversation. I'm super vanilla.
Well, I'm not chocolate. I'm just.
What are you
What
then?
is it? Sherbet?
Are you salted caramel?
Yeah. No, I'm.
I think so.
I think
You
you're
have a
too
little
dark
crunch.
for it.
He's got a little crunch to him. Yeah. You know how they sell like the chocolate that's got like the pepper in it, like the habanero chocolate. He's a little spicy, you guys. A little spicy. This needs lunged every day. I have to
Oh
lunge
my God.
this.
Tara's been trying to talk me into doing the road to the horse.
I haven't. Listen, Jacob is like a Belgian plow mule. Like you hook him to the wagon and he just is like from sun up to sundown. This thing over here has to like be lunged.
I'm like an
lip
old
chain.
diesel.
No.
Old diesel engine.
No.
Warm
Yeah, I've got to fucking put ether on you to jump start. I mean,
Oh
you
my
are a
God.
little spicy. This thing over here is a little spicy. He does have a good work ethic. Like, he's like an old diesel. I mean, he'll get going, but it takes him a minute to warm up. Then when
Not
he
a
gets
morning
warmed up,
person.
he's... No, but a little spicy. I will tell you, he's a little cold back. For sure.
Nah. Salted caramel.
He is. This is of the salted caramel variety.
Nah.
But I like Heath bars, so that's good by me. What is it?
I don't know.
Something about gonna be stopping Jacob when he gets home. No, Jacob, that's not like a thing. Jacob is home most of the time. Like, but I will tell you, my neighbor was like, yeah, there's been like 9 vehicles. And I'm like, no, sir, no, there's been my Jeep, my Mercedes, the black truck, the white truck. And I was like, that's only 4.
Only 4 in the past 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah. And then So the only thing is like we had a storm that was like horrible, and it didn't storm where I live, but it stormed here, and so there wasn't any electricity. And it was so funny when my neighbor was like, "Ma'am, there was a black guy leaving your house the other day," and I'm like, "Who says that?" Right away I told Tylen, "Who says that to someone?"
I thought I was gonna get blown away.
He did. There was like
I was
no
freaking
electricity.
out.
It was awful. Do you tie him to the patience pole? I need to listen. I need one, but with Velcro.
Ha 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 ha. Just Velcro.
I'm getting better. He used to make these horrible jokes that were like borderline not, and I'm so white, I would get so bent out of shape and be way more uncomfortable than he is right now, and I'm getting better.
Whatever.
I'm getting better.
You would just try really hard not to laugh.
I mean, every time he gets bucked off, I fucking hysterically die of laughter. You think that makes me a terrible person? Am I like a bad person? Are you not gonna hook up any card? You got cards. I have no desire to drive anything. You wanna drive something?
Not really.
No, I'm over it. I did it.
She done it.
After having horses like Sinner and Saint that are so fabulous in harness and still really not wanting to do it, I just, So did... No, Jacob the other night, Jacob was like going home and he was like, "Listen, I'm exhausted. I'm not going to dinner with y'all. Y'all have fun." So we went to
I
Ritual.
actually lost that bet because we had a bet and I was like, Jacob's gonna go eat with us. And
Yeah, he was like, "Come on, we'll ask." And I'm like, Jacob is not. Jacob just got in from the cell and he's going to say, "I am ordering DoorDash and I'm going home. Y'all go ahead." And he was like, "Come on, Jacob, go eat with us." And Jacob was like, "I've already DoorDashed my food. I'm just trying to beat it to the house. I ain't going nowhere but the bathtub." No. So one thing about Jacob, after 10 years of being in a relationship with somebody, you know everything about him, and Jacob knows. Like, he's like, "Here, you want her for the night? Like, you go entertain her. I'm going to the bath and the bed." Because Jacob knows, like, when I get home, this booty's coming to bed. So he's like, no, he doesn't give a fuck. No, Jacob literally, and he's like, "Here." The other day, he was like, "If you can afford her, you can have her." It was super funny. It was really funny. What'd they say? 3.5 weeks ago, go back down. We had a tornado. Yeah, we had some tornadoes here. Yeah. So it was, that's Jacob.
yeah.
He just, I don't know. I guess when you're in a relationship that long, you guys know.
Oh no,
What are they
I
saying?
thought Jacob didn't like me for a while because he didn't talk to me, and Tara was like, "Oh,
He didn't talk to anybody.
You just got to let it warm up."
What's Jerry doing? Look at Skeet on the hay bale.
I think Jerry's putting out hay.
Yeah. So it's kind of one of those things to where I've always staffed girls, and I finally have decided I'm going to staff guys. There's just like no drama. It's super good. Tylen and I actually have become, I feel like, really good friends. Yeah, like we have become super good friends, and we have like a super great dynamic, and there's no drama or catty behavior, or it's actually really good, and he gets along with Jacob fantastic, so it's nice. Jerry just works. He just stays busy. Jerry, I think, stays busy because he just wants to keep his mind busy.
Yeah.
And, yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And he's like the most normal person too.
So normal.
He's
so
so
quiet.
normal. He's really normal compared to us, for sure.
I seem pretty normal right now. So.
Yeah, you're super normal right now. Y'all, he's not normal. But that's the thing about live video and being on video. There's lots of people that can, and I've had lots of staff do that. Like, I had one older lady that worked for me, and every time the camera would come on, she would get this voice and turn into this, like, so nice person, and I'm like...
I told you
Okay.
I would freeze up.
Okay.
Did I not? I told you. Did I not?
Breathe.
I am breathing.
Look at him. He's doing everything he can to get off camera. He's like trying to dive off camera.
I'm just leaning.
He is leaning.
There. I'll lean this way.
Something about, what's the something course you ever rode?
The first horse I ever rode. Well, my best friend Dylan well, he wasn't my best friend when I first rode, but my dad actually met his dad at the bar, and his dad invited us out to ride because I always wanted to ride, and he had this Palomino paint mare,
Oh, Lord,
and
yeah.
her name was Fancy, and she only rode in a Hackamore, and he gave me a crash course on how to turn and how to stop in the pasture, and we went on a short little trail ride, and she was really, really barn sour, and they used to run her as hard as they could back to the barn. So my very first ride, she took off with me all the way back to the barn, and he like had to like catch me and slow me down because I didn't know what I was doing. I was just froze up on the saddle.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. But after that, it was pretty normal. And then he started making me ride this horse named Cracker. She was goofy. She would rear up at every ditch and lunge across it. It was pretty fun. And then my first horse that I ever owned was this little red horse named Scooby-Doo. And he was like 14 too, and he was probably 1,000 pounds. And then I sold him.
And you became a horse trader right
No.
there. You sold Scooby. That was in his blood from the beginning. He sold Scooby, and that was it.
No, I just didn't like him. And then I got a Gorilla paint mare. That was absolutely nuts. And then I got my first real horse, and I tried him out when I broke my arm. My arm was broken. I went and tried him out. He was 2, and he would spin a hole in the ground and slide stop and everything. We were all gimped up and riding this horse and wasn't supposed to be riding.
Listen, all I know is that Tylen definitely has done a little bit of everything, and now he wants to mount and shoot.
I do, most definitely.
He wants to do mounted shooting, and I'm like, okay, do it. Mounted shooting.
Yep.
Yep. For me, I don't. I mean, I will root you on. I will video.
You gotta do it too. Oh yeah. We're gonna get Jacob to do it too.
There's
All
no
3
way.
of us.
He would
Oh yeah.
never.
Yep.
He
Yeah,
will
we
never. He will never.
Yeah. He might think it would be fun.
Absolutely not. That's like literally. He would say, "That's the stupidest fucking shit I've ever heard." That's what he would say. Just poor Tylen. He keeps having all this faith that Jacob wants to like participate, and Jacob is like, "Fuck no! I just want to go to the cow cell, the horse cell, and to bed." Yeah.
I'll talk him into it. I'll make him a bed.
Just like you were gonna talk him into going to dinner.
I'll make him a bed.
He won't take it. He's not a gambling man that way.
Shit.
Yeah. No. Jacob literally just wants to go to the cell and go to bed. That's it. That's it.
That's it.
Sleep, sex, cell barns, bath. That's it. And he waiters his food. I'm like, come on, let's go eat dinner. And he's like, I already waitered my food. And I'm like, well, okay. Like, so I'll waiter my food, and when we get home, our separate orders, because we can't even eat at the same restaurant. It's hilarious. Which horse? Go back. What does it say? Yeah, he did go to Miss Kathy's. Okay, what
I
horse?
did. My first real horse. What were the other ones? Stick horses? No, they was just not. They was just basic
Like,
horses.
yeah.
They didn't really teach me nothing. They
They
was
were just-
plowing and
Yeah, they weren't super broke.
yeah, not fancy. Bro.
They weren't fancy broke.
When you get a horse that
Like peyote. People wondered like how come I went with peyote whenever I said, you know what, I'm just gonna keep him here for Tinley. It was because he's fancy broke. Like spin a hole in the ground, he rides bridleless, he side passes, because I want Tinley to grow up knowing what a good horse feels like. That way her hands and her seat stay soft. Because what happens with a lot of kids is you put them on a kid broke horse and they have to
Yep.
pull, and then when they go to a really broke horse, they can't handle it, and they're too tough on one. So
when I
oh, I'll be right back.
okay, she's just leaving. But when I started riding, I was just plow reining with the first 2, and then my horse that I got after I broke my arm, he would pretty much do anything and everything. My kids actually ride him still now. He's 17 this year, and he taught me a lot about feel and what one's supposed to feel like and how I want them to feel. And he was like always super broke, and You could do anything off of him. You could shoot off of him. I used to hunt off of him, roped off of him, barrel raced off of him, 1 speed on him, any and everything. So yep, my first real horse was not a stick horse. Alright, she's gone, so I don't know what to say. Whatever she's doing. Yes, they do. They ride pretty much every day. So my oldest daughter, she's 5. She's got a black and white paint horse that's pretty nice. And then we got the mare for her last year, I think. And then the youngest one, she's 4. She rides King, and they got a pony. And then they steal every horse that I ride. So there's a bunch of nice horses back home. So my favorite trainer would probably be between Clint Anderson and Chris Cox. I like both of them.
Clinicians?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a couple small town trainers that I like too. But
Who are they?
I don't remember their names. Mike, the one that just won the Road to the Horse.
Mike Majors?
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
him. I like him.
Yeah, that colt was a good colt though. He was a
Yeah.
Jesse's Topaz, and I like a Mr. Jess Perry. So Jesse's Topaz is a Mr. Jess Perry's son, but he's buckskin, and on the bottom side he's cowbred, but
Yeah.
fantastic. Really good sire to that colt. I would have gone with the blonde too, but I like Jesse's Topaz.
Oh no, I take everybody's training methods and put it in the wheel.
You're like fine sitting up, and I'm telling you, my energy overwhelms him. I sat down and look at him. He's like, oh,
No, I was looking down at the ground the whole time like this, like I don't know where he was.
look at him. The whole video is gonna be like,
My hat.
you're gonna be like, Tylen,
Where are you?
we're gonna break you into this.
I don't like looking at myself.
Okay, 64 cookies. Was this, today? First address, do you have?
Let's see. Any more questions?
I've got to ship, so these cookies up here are all sold, and we need to go back and find that. So some of them have tracking that already shipped. There's a list of cookies that need sent. We need to,
Send those?
yep, that's
Okay.
something we need to do.
So my favorite breed is a quarter horse, and mainly because they're athletic, and that's just what I'm used to.
You miss Sissy and her G-Wagon. It's super cute.
I'm not a G-Wagon fan.
Oh, I'm a G-Wagon fan.
All they're good for is tax write-offs.
Here's a diesel.
I was 8 when I started riding. How old was you when you started riding?
Oh, I was little.
Like,
Yeah,
came out?
yeah. My mom doesn't ride at all, but my dad always made sure that I could ride the pony around the racetrack and stuff. So I was in the 2nd grade when I started taking riding lessons at a facility.
no, Debbie, I will never buy 2 crows just for the simple fact he cannot stay here.
So we just don't allow that. Like, I know that you guys don't realize that, but I don't get that started. So when I was in Louisiana, I had a staff member that kind of ruined that for everybody. I've had 2 kind of ruin that. What we don't want to get started is like, I had one staff member that when the first week she worked there, she found a horse, she really liked him, she took him home. Then like 2 weeks later, she saw another one she really liked. And what happens is sometimes I feel like, and not that Tylen would do this, but they feel like we should probably sell them the horses for what we paid for them. Not that you would do that, but you know what I'm saying? Like, we'd get a load in. So it got to where like every couple of weeks she was expecting me to sell her kind of like the very best one off the, like we would go through them and she'd be like, hey, I want to buy that Palomino. Well, she was just taking them home and she was selling them on like Facebook, Craigslist. Yeah. And so in the end, her husband, when Jacob stopped selling her horses, she started sending her husband to the sell barns, and he was bidding on horses against Jacob. And so Jacob ended up, I ended up doing something really ugly. I'm just going to tell you guys, it was pretty funny. I had a gray horse that we had bought at Kinder, and he didn't ride very good, and on her day off, we knew that. So the following day, I sent him to Opelousas with a note, and I stuck him in her husband for about $2,200, and he didn't ride, and it broke them of being that way. I can be petty. I can be the pettiest person you've ever met in your life. I really can be.
I actually threatened to bid on him when we could sign him.
Yeah, Two Crows. Yeah, I mean, so not that Tylen expects for me to sell him the horses for what we pay for them, but, and I've had another staff member that had a horse and then 2 horses, and anyway, you just can't get attached to them.
Yeah.
Like, if you get in the habit of getting attached to them, it'll go from 1 to 2 to 3.
I already know, but I like Two Crows a lot.
Yeah.
That's why.
He's a fantastic horse. Two Crows is going to be amazing. He's just young.
But she said I couldn't bid on him because he couldn't stay here.
I said you can bid on him, he just can't stay here.
Yeah. So might as well not bid on him.
Right.
And no, I've never rode English. I take that back. I did one time just to try out a polo horse for Dr. Capexa back home.
See?
What? I sound wrong. I don't want to hear that.
Listen, sometimes I say, I hate the way that my voice sounds on camera, and he's like, what? No, your voice is fine. But now that you have to hear your own voice on camera, it's different, isn't it?
How old were you when you started having kids, and did you raise them around horses? I started having kids really, really young, so I was 18 whenever my first kid, and then 20, and then 21, so one did not make it, so. And yeah, they've been around horses their whole life. Their whole life. Well, Tara just seen what I named myself in my phone, and she told y'all one day on live. And
He literally has himself in his phone as Big Daddy Craig. And then he was like, I am not sorry, what's my name? And she was like, Big Daddy Craig, because that's what you told me to call you. She totally told on him. It was hilarious.
somebody said they need more cookies.
So Floyd is fixing to be in Minnesota.
About to be in Minnesota. Yeah, I've traveled a bunch. Have you traveled a bunch?
Yeah.
You have, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to travel all the time in high school.
Yeah, but I like to travel still.
I like to travel too.
Yeah, for sure.
Pretty
See,
much.
now he's warming up to you guys. Like, I'm trying to stay out of it. I'm really bad to talk through people and to, like, be a little overbearing.
You are horrible
I
at
am
talking over
horrible.
people.
So I'm trying to just stay over here on my phone.
It's a work in
and
process.
I'm just saying, I love that you're, like, interacting. So I'm, like, letting you warm up
I'm
and
fine
get
with
better.
answering questions.
Do it.
But I don't want to look at myself.
I am okay with looking at myself.
I don't. So,
There are days that I get on there and I look like something.
how many states have you been to?
A lot.
All of them?
No, I haven't been to much up in the northeast.
So, probably the farthest I've been northeast is Maryland. My grandpa bought a Arabian stud up there, so we went there.
An Arabian stud.
Yeah.
Was that interesting?
Yeah, that sucker was nuts.
You flinched. Like, did you think I was going to hurt you? I think he's been abused in the past, but just so we're all on the same page, it wasn't me. I'm like, blink if you're afraid. Just kidding. No, I'm just saying. Have you ever seen the TikToks where they're like, yeah blink.
So, what's your favorite country, Tara?
Ooh, my favorite country? Well, I'm a big fan of the U.S. I'm a big fan of here, like to live.
Yeah, but
I mean, I've been to Mexico. Well, I mean, that's North America, but I've been to like Mexico, Canada. I've been to the Dominican Republic. I've been, I think the place I want to visit that I haven't visited, I would like to go, obviously, to like Great Britain, and I would really, really love to go to Scotland. Some of the photos of the, but you know what? There are places in Australia I want to visit. So there's a lot of places that I haven't marked off my bucket list that I would really love to see because they're just really amazing. But I mean, I think as far as living, like
So
we have a
this
lot of
comment-
freedom here.
This comment right here, I was thinking that earlier when I was riding hobby, and I was like, maybe I could get Tara to teach me
Me
how
to jump. He said that a couple times. He's like, I think that you should teach me to jump. And I'm like, oh, I can do it.
I think I need to lose some more weight first, though. Most definitely.
I'm pretty sure my butt's bigger than your butt.
So my kids are still too young to actually know what they want to do when they grow up. I feel.
Oh, for sure, Tinley.
Yeah.
I mean,
But-
one day Tinley is like wanting to be Doc McStuffins, and the next day she wants to be like a fairy, and the next day she wants to bowl. And one day she came and she's like, Mom, I want to bowl. And I was like, you want to go bowling? She's like, yeah, look at the ball. It's pink. I want one. It had nothing. She had no concept of actually bowling, but Peppa was on YouTube bowling with a pink ball, and Tinley was like, I'm bowling.
Your kid is normal. All my kid wants to do is make TikToks right now. So.
My child wanted to do that with her. So his older daughter loves to TikTok, and she like really tries to learn the dances. Like she's really she's like, and I'm like, go Jay, and I'm like super white over here like rooting her on, but I don't have any coordination. And my child is also super white, going like. So anyway, his daughter has my daughter wanting to make TikToks. He has a daughter that's 5 and a daughter that's 4, and Tinley's 3, and his oldest and Tinley are a lot alike. The middle one is just really quiet. She wants to just hang out.
They want pictures of the leopard Frisian coat.
No.
No?
Why? He's not for sale.
They just said, will we ever get pictures of the leopard Frisian coat?
You want to go back there and take pictures of him?
We can.
He's pretty. What are we going to call him? Somebody said we should call him Leo, and I said if we named him Leo, we could name the gray colt Aries.
I don't know. I'm not good at picking out names. I say that
Get
gray
it,
coat.
Leo and Aries?
Yeah, I say that gray coat in the stall, or hey, that coat back in the back.
There was a lady that posted on TikTok a colt from like the same area. So mine is from Hales Auroran, and hers was from.
I'm not for sure. I sent it to you.
Yeah, you sent it to me. Tylen and I, like, she was like making a big deal out of hers, and I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a beautiful, beautiful specimen, but we both were like, yeah, ours is better. We love our gray colt. He's
nice.
Ours is really nice. So yeah, she was doing this, and I was like, wait. And hers is super nice, but
Can't really see it.
yeah, you can. But I mean, the one that we have is like, ours just has a little bit more neck. Where did hers come from? What?
Lazy 6'9".
Lazy 6'9", and he's a beautiful blue roan. But yeah, what does it say? Hers is a draft cross. Hers is
Yeah.
Percheron too, right?
Yep.
Percheron. Hers is just Percheron and quarter horse, where mine is Percheron, Frisian, and quarter horse.
She's from Oregon.
Oregon. So hers is from Oregon and mine's from Montana. Or maybe Wyoming. Is Hales Auroran in...
Not for sure.
I'm gonna look.
Training with Stevie is going really well. He's actually like warmed up a lot. He went from being hard to catch. Tara actually tested it the other day. I turned him out And she's like, go and catch Stevie. And I was like, I need help. And she's like, no, I don't think you do.
Nope,
So-
I really honestly thought, like, no help, just go out there because he's getting in that routine of coming in. And I do think if 2 or 3 people go out there, immediately he gets high-headed. So I was like, nope, I don't want all of us out there. Like, let's just give him the benefit of the doubt that he's not going to run from us. He came right to him.
So me and Stevie's becoming buddies. I just haven't had the courage to get back on him yet. I want to make sure he knows that the pain's going and everything. So
Yeah.
I think he will turn out to be pretty good. So I just don't want to rush him.
Nope, I don't want to rush him either. I'm trying to read comments.
Just to try.
The price of what? Amazon. Somebody asked about sleazies, where I found the best price. The very best brand of sleazies are the Sleazy Sleeper ones that don't have the belly just because they're thicker. But I really like the Horseman's Pride ones too. Is it Horseman's Pride or Horse's Pride? I don't
I
know.
don't know.
Okay, where is your favorite place you have traveled to, and where do you want to visit?
What about?
What
I
about
already
you?
asked you. So
Yeah, so
I want to visit.
him and I have a couple of places on our bucket list together.
I want to visit Paris.
You do?
Yeah.
What about in the U.S.?
In the U.S.,
I'm not a Paris fan. I see so many TikToks of people so grossly disappointed in Paris between the way that it smells, the disgusting water, that the Eiffel Tower is like really only a little tiny 3-story building. It's really not a big giant Eiffel Tower. Like, people will post photos of it, and so you think the Eiffel Tower is going to be like as big
Paris
as...
is more than the. Paris is meant for like to go there with a spouse or something.
Well, we have to find you a spouse.
I know, but it's more. to
That's it. Got to find him a spouse.
And
No, the food is terrible. Everybody I've ever known that went to Paris was so disappointed because we Americanize like Italian food, but that's France. It's French food,
Yeah.
and it's
Well, Paris is in France.
that's what I'm saying. Like, but I think when people go to Paris, they think it's going to be like not. I mean, obviously, you know, it's not in Italy; it's in France. But I think they think there's going to be like, and then it's French food, and it's just not like.
Yeah.
People either love it or they hate it.
I mean, they'll be. Okay.
But I don't have a single friend that's been to Paris that came home and was not thoroughly disappointed. Like, it just was it was so romanticized. And they were like, the water is disgusting. There's pickpockets everywhere. Like, the Eiffel Tower is tiny. The food is disgusting. You know, the wine is just bitter red wine. They don't have like a lot of like sweet wine. So literally, I just am scared to visit Paris because it's so romanticized, and every person I know that's ever been is highly disappointed. I want to go to Bali. Now, I would love, I'm telling you, I want to go to Bali.
And in the U.S., I want to go to New Orleans. I've never been.
We've talked about that, but we talked about the other day, we may deliver a set of horses because us two have one place in common we'd really love to visit. Where was it?
Massachusetts.
Salem. We want to go to Salem.
So I have a bunch of family there, but I've never
Yes,
been to
we're like Salem fanatics. I told him, I was like, we can deliver the 2 horses in Florida, 1 to South Carolina, 1 to North Carolina, 1 to New Jersey, 1 to New York, 1 to Maryland, and then just like truck on over to Massachusetts.
Yeah. And my favorite place is probably Wyoming. I like Wyoming.
Yeah, Wyoming and Montana are beautiful. I went to Billings in September, and I was so disappointed because I wanted to take the rent-a-car, which it was a Jeep like the one I have now. It was white, but I wanted to take it and drive down to Yellowstone so bad, and we just never made time to do it. So I want to go back to Billings just so I can do the 2-hour drive down to Yellowstone. But now that I've sold Center and Saint and Hammer, and then these 4 all to like establishments there, I have lots of like places to stay if I wanted to go.
Was we having a star party?
Maybe. Am I having a star party, you guys?
Somebody sent stars. A
Yeah.
bunch of people did.
I just keep getting like tons of like messages, and I'm trying to make sure they're not like questions. Yeah, so we want to go to Salem. That's a thing. Like, we are
Thank you, Debbie.
What did she say?
She said that I do an amazing job and I'm great with the horses.
Good job, sir. Good job.
I like to think I do okay.
He does. He does a great job. I'm perfectly pleased with the job he does. Listen, I don't have any complaints about Thailand. Zero.
I've personally never been to Canada. Have you?
To Canada? Yeah, I've been to Ontario, Quebec, and I've been to Ontario, and then over to into Quebec. So yeah.
I probably won't ever get out of the United States.
We
though.
went to Ontario with Lavelle. I qualified for like a lifestyle vacation through Lavelle and went to Ontario and ended up going and having Reiki done there and went to like it's very modernized where we went.
Well, now you gotta have the COVID vaccine to get a passport, and I'm good.
I have a passport.
I do not.
You don't have a passport?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Nope.
We will be taking you within the U.S. then.
Yeah. Because I will not get the COVID vaccine.
No, I'm not getting vaccinated.
No, he is not still in the horse business.
But was he ever really in the horse business,
Yeah.
or he was just in the?
No, he went to Oklahoma shoeing school, and he actually broke his back from running barrels bareback, and like.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't hear all that part yet, but I didn't ask. We haven't got that far.
Yeah. So no,
Most of the time, we're
he's like 80.
doesn't matter. I seriously have been like trying to convince him to like, you know, normally at dinner I'm like, so are you gonna have a Tinder so I can? I love to shop people on Tinder. Oh, that's not ours.
No,
Go get it.
I do not want to go and get it.
Yeah.
No.
Hi, doggy.
Where did he come from?
Come here, doggy. I don't know.
What if he's mean?
Come on, doggy.
Sound like the
Hi, come here, sir.
typical person with some color to their skin. What if he's mean?
Are you stereotyping yourself again?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna get blamed for it somehow. Come here, doggy. Hi.
Look. Uh-huh.
He's really big.
And he's really big, and his hair's standing up on his back.
Bear is trying to eat him.
Let them play. They'll be okay. Skeets and
Hi,
Heat.
doggy. What is he?
A Great Pyrenees mix, it looks like.
I love it. He can stay. We need to go get dog food.
Yep.
Skeet
So
and
what
stuff.
was we talking about before you seen the dog?
Your grandpa, and then I need you to get a Tinder so I can shop people on your Tinder.
No, I'm good. No, my grandpa got out horses the first time when he first opened up his first liquor store because he didn't have time.
Yeah.
And then I got into horses and he got back into horses and he wanted walking horses and I wanted my
I like walking horses, thank you. Your grandpa and I can be friends.
Then he had this big champagne mare. She was young. She was like only 4.
They're beautiful.
And he went to Eminence on one of the big trail rides, and she got into some ground harness and like bucked him off and punctured a lung. And so he quit riding.
Come here, Bear.
Again,
Hurry.
but-
Bear's in here to tell on them. He's like, Mommy, I don't want that dog here.
He still rides a little bit, but not much. Only when I ask him.
Bear is super disappointed. He's in here telling. He's like Tylen. He's like, listen, my fellow black friend, there's a big white guy out here that needs you to take care of it.
Somebody said jumping is the best.
It's okay. I mean,
I guess we did have a star party.
good. I don't know. I didn't see it, so it might not have counted towards our star. Ouch. Sorry, my hair
I've
was
never
like.
been to Turkey. Have you been to Turkey?
No, that's not really on my bucket list either.
So something that really, really bothers me.
It's hair.
No, it don't.
He's not a hair person at all.
No, it's not. I think it's funny sometimes, but then it's like it's not funny when people misspell my name.
Oh, y'all! If y'all call him Tylen, he gets so upset.
Or
It's Ty, like Ty, and then Lin, so Tylen. And he's been called Thailand, Tylenol,
Tyler,
Tyler,
Teelan.
Tilyn,
Yeah.
a lot. It's just Ty, like the name Ty, and then Lin.
Somebody gave you a compliment. Your Frisians are gorgeous.
My Frisians are gorgeous.
So,
What am I supposed to say? Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm not good with compliments. Hyland tells me that all the time.
very not good with compliments.
Well, I think that I'm like, yeah, I love them. I mean, but I've worked so hard and they're so beautiful and I just love them.
Your star party was achieved.
Thank you. We didn't
Thank
see
y'all. We did not see it. Somebody said Leo the Pimp. No more. Was that for the stud coat?
The leopard, Leo the leopard.
Oh, yeah.
But I think the other one we should name Aries. I think that's a good name for him. You're a Libra, though, and I'm a Virgo. Hi, Jerry.
Hey, I'm just making sure you said your barrel mirrors with.
Are you okay? Do you need to go inside and take a break? Are you sure you don't? Why don't you go take a break? You sure you're staying busy? Yes. The Colt's in the back, and then the barrel mirrors, and the Colt's right here. Go give him a hug.
You gonna give him a hug?
I would, but he runs.
Yeah. Leave him alone. He'll be okay. Somebody said we should call. Which one? Northern Lights, though. The stud coat, maybe.
They've got the studs have to have like names, but I do love Aries. But that's a great deity too. Like not only is it a wonderful like astrology sign, it's also a deity, and I'm okay with Aries.
What blind horse are they talking about? The gray?
Probably. He sold the gray blind horse that came in blind sold. Nina fundraised for part of him, and she's fundraising for his friend, his little pasture mate, and they're going together. Unless you mean Donnie, and then Donnie's not blind. His eyesight came back. He had a bump on the head that caused inflammation to his, what was it, his optical
nerve?
Yeah, I remember Amanda, when she came though, light was getting to the back of the eye. Anyway, his sight's getting better. We keep a UV protective mask on him just to help him out, but Donnie's was a head injury that caused optical neuritis, I believe. Isn't that what it's called?
Don't remember.
You don't remember?
No.
You were here with the vet. It was like optical neuritis.
I was here for the whole, not for.
Yeah, not when I took him there, but you were here for the follow-up.
Yeah.
But yeah, just optical neuritis. And we floated his teeth. That helped tremendously.
Yeah.
We're gonna get Thailand.
No
wet.
homosexuals.
That's so true.
Did you have a bunch of homosexuals here?
No, yes, Elizabeth. She just couldn't help it. She would bring them in, and they had nowhere to go and no vehicle. She'd have to go get them, and then they would never leave here. Cancel. Yeah. Are you inviting people on camera?
No.
That's you. It's probably your girls.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
We'll go. You ready to go? We need to go talk to them?
I'll call it that. Somebody said we need to go to Salem at Halloween.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, absolutely, I agree with that.
I don't know. I think it'd be too many people.
That's also true. Yeah, Tylen's not. He's not as interested in people as I am.
Yellowstone is absolutely beautiful. Beautiful.
I've never got to go.
What?
Remember, we didn't drive down. Go answer her.
Oh,
Do not.
No, I do not have tattoos. I absolutely hate tattoos.
I have no tattoos.
Hate them.
Anybody piercings?
Yeah, I love piercings. Why are you gonna ask a question like that?
Keep going. Now they're gonna want answers to that. They're gonna want to know details to piercings.
They're not gonna get answers. Somebody said Paris was neat.
It was neat.
Yeah.
Did you go like? I don't know. My youngest son to visit his dad in England, which is beautiful. So. I think for me, because I underplay Paris so much when I do go, I think that I probably will be surprised. You know, I'll be excited. I'll be like, it was so much better than I expected after all I heard.
Somebody said that you would fit in on the show also.
Probably.
You?
I don't know. I've never watched it, but from what I know, I'd probably knock the fuck out of Beth Dutton. Ugh, I'd be the one to knock her out. It'd be fine. You'd only get to... I saw, like, on TikTok where somebody posted, like, a like a clip of her or whatever, and she was being snarky, and I was like,
Have you ever been to Kentucky?
several times.
Yeah, me too. I only live like 2 hours from there.
Yeah, he doesn't live far from there.
Yeah, not very far at all. Used to go to Kentucky Lake all the time, but then we relocated from Kentucky to North Fork, so North Fork's a whole lot cleaner.
A whole lot cleaner.
Whole lot cleaner.
So you're getting compliments that you're cute, little
But I'm
thirst
not.
trap. I hired him because he's a little thirst trap. I knew that the ladies would like it.
Well, I'm not though. But thank you for the compliments.
I can't see over your finger.
Well, it's
Got
just-
it. Got it, Tylen. Tylin. Good job. I'm guilty. I called you Tylen. It's okay.
That's Teelan. The Y is silent when you spell it like that. Teelan.
It's not.
It most definitely
It
is.
is not. That would be Thailand.
No,
Not
that's
Thailand.
Teelan.
That'd be Thailand.
That's Teelan.
It'd be Thailand.
Teelan.
His name is Thailand, not Thailand.
That's Teelan.
Or you can call him Tylena. Look at his face. I seriously walked in. I was like, "Hi, Lena, the horse," and he was like, "Do not call me that." Roar! And I was like, "Call you what?" He pretends to be.
Somebody asked, when are you going to have your next batch of hats in?
We already ordered them, but they're too, like, let me see. It's not going to be anytime soon, unfortunately. I have 2 or 3 pre-orders that are already ordered, but let me look. And I didn't know this, so I'm a little bit disappointed because she said, as soon as you get these, let me know, and I can turn around and start on the next batch. So I just assumed that it would be like, get them, you know what I'm saying? Like, see which ones I liked, and then turn around, and she said, I said, hey, I sold all the hats. I would definitely like to order 20 more. And she's like, I need more hats. I'm sorry. I placed an order for over 100 hats today. This was like later that day. And I said, okay. And so then that was on March 30th. And then on March 31st, I messaged back and I said, hey, just checking. I know you said you ordered 100 hats, but do you have anything in stock at all? And she said, no, I don't. And I didn't realize that ordering hats would take this long, but I do have the shipment already on the way, and I should probably be placing another order maybe tomorrow. And I said, thank you. So do we have an ETA on when the hats will be in and when we can get them out? And she said, a month.
Oh, cow.
She said a month. And I was like,
Look, somebody said, we know it's not his nipples.
y'all don't know that it's not his nipples. We don't know that. I've never seen his nipples. I will say, every once in a while, he does wear that pink shirt, and he goes, don't video me in this shirt. You can see my nipples. And I'm like, you're a man. It's fine, Felicia.
You can actually say my nipples all the time. All the time.
I literally had a screenshot earlier, and it was awful. I said, hey, do you know where the clamps are? The clamps that go up here. I'm like, hey, what did we do with the clamps that were in my car? You know, the ones you had on your nipples. He was like, they're still in your car. And I'm like, can you please grab the clamps out of my car?
Look, they said do not do Tinder, farmersonly.com.
I am out on the farmers only. I don't want anybody that own everything they own is mortgaged and they have to know. I don't want a farmer. Listen, if I was ever going to date again, it would not be a farmer. It would not be an agriculture person of any form. No.
Somebody said they still want to take you through Yellowstone.
I really want to go. I'm down for it. Let's do it.
You
I
should.
love her. They have motorcycles and they are fantastic.
You
That's
should
where
go.
my blenders that I had on the other day, that's where they came from. She's fantastic. I
You
love
should
them.
go. Yellowstone was absolutely.
Absolutely. No, I'm
The
down for
wildlife
it.
and the
I'm
Old
deathly
Faithful.
afraid. I'm deathly afraid of buffalo. So
Oh, they
Deathly
walk
afraid.
right across.
Yeah, I'm
like,
not having it. Like, I'm just gonna be in the back seat with the windows up, like with my safety belt on and a gun, and then we can. I'm really
It's
afraid.
right
of
off the road. They're like right off the road. But Old Faithful, we stayed in. I forget what that hotel's called, but every morning you could hear it just, and then a grizzly bear broke into the garbage can, the dumpster. It was pretty
That
cool.
happens all the time in Ruidoso.
And then all the elk in
Do
the
it again,
snow.
let's see it.
You should go. It's fun.
A Texas girl that's never been anywhere. What was she asking?
How did you end up in Texas?
His job.
Yep.
He just applied. He applied, and I thought that I hired
Don't.
a gay barrel racer.
Oh my God.
So I thought I was getting a gay barrel racer that would barrel race with me and go shopping and go get pedicures, and I thought I was getting a gay barrel racer. And I got a very straight father of two that is still super fun. Just not gay. Not gay.
So end of the story is, I just seen this ad saying we need a rider, and I was like, oh, let me go ahead and message them, and then
He came for an interview.
she got me booked off.
Donnie tried to kill him, and he still came back.
Yep.
Donnie was like, "Let me off this motherfucker," and Tylen was like, "It's fine. I bounce." But I will tell you, the picture that he had on Facebook, his ears are pierced, and he had on like big earrings, and he was like super clean cut, and big white teeth, big diamond earrings, super clean cut. Stuff about barrel racing, and I was like, this is perfect. He is like very clean. He's like super well spoken. Like
No, rough because I don't have nobody to
Listen.
cut my hair down here.
My problem is though, like I had never staffed men. I had always just had women, and I'm a little bit overbearing, so not all men can work for such a strong presence. And I thought, oh, you know what? But he's gay. It'll be perfect because we'll match energy. We'll both be a little sassy. Not gay. So when he got here and he got out and my gaydar didn't go off, in fact, I was like, ooh, he cute, but this is not a gay barrel racer. What did I do? I even had to go back and like check. I was like, on Facebook, I was like, is this the same? Like, do I have two black boys coming or just one? I had just the one, and he's very straight, and it's fine. It's fine. We're besties. It's good. Look at him. He's like, stop telling people I'm gay. You're not. Like, I'm telling you. Like, as soon as he got out, my gaydar did not go off, and I was like, wait. This is not what I ordered. I felt like, like when you order something off of Wish and it arrives, but it's okay. My very straight friend over here, though, still does not have a Tinder, and I need him to so I can shop people.
They said not to do Tinder.
Okay, I don't give a shit. Fine, get a fucking OnlyFans. But God, I mean, I'm in a Farmers Only.
No, I will not sell you my feet pics.
I will. If you have a foot fetish, I have cute feet, and I will sell you my feet pics. Just inbox me.
And no, only because I hate tattoos does not mean that I judge people on their own body. It's
I don't
their
have any
choice.
tattoos either. I'm not into
It's
it.
their choice. I mean, some tattoos look good on people. It's just my preference. I
Yeah.
don't want tattoos on my body.
I'm not into them.
So,
I'm not into piercings either. Like, I've had my nose done, and I still have the hole, and my ears are done, but that's it. You had your nose done, too, right?
yeah, my nose, my ears, actually
Just
2 on each ear, and then my tongue, and yeah. So
And he-
Jerry is 30,
Jerry's 30.
and would you call him single or no?
I don't know. We're not gonna.
Yeah,
Jerry,
we're-
when Jerry wants to be on video, we'll let Jerry talk about Jerry.
Yeah.
Super nice. He's like the most normal person.
Super,
He's just-
super
He's
nice.
just going through a lot right now.
Somebody said I'm way too young for them. I can't see more. Oh, they said LOL.
He likes his women older, and he always has.
They said, why did you take your hair out, Tara?
I didn't. We were at the Mexican restaurant, and I went next door to the Mexican supermarket, which, by the way, we have to go in there. I had never been in there till today. It is our kind of place. Like, you and I will be doing our grocery shopping. It has more fucking produce and, like, fresh stuff. Like, the whole thing is, like, a fresh.
I'm not. No, because if I could buy groceries, that means I have to cook, and that means I have